Hello guys, so welcome to Blue Tech Empire Python tutorials. In these tutorials, we are going to be looking at standard data type strings. Strings is very useful. You can use it to store a lot of data. For example, within your program, if you have stuff like email address, names, countries, and whatever kind of character you want to save, you save it in the data type string. Python considers it to be a string. So let's get directly into the video. We are going to be looking at the content on the Telegram channel. So if you haven't joined the channel Telegram channel, you can check the link on the description. So I explained a lot more about string and double quotes in the video on, I think, introduction to Python. I think the second part. So if you haven't watched the video, I will advise you to take a look at the video. You'll be able to understand more about single quotes, double quotes, and triple quotes when it comes to strings, because Python strings can be enclosed within single quotes, double quotes, and triple quotes. So in this video, I'm not going to be explaining a lot about that because I took quite a long time to explain that in the last video. So as we can see from the Telegram channel, strings in Python are identified as a contiguous set of characters represented in quotation marks. So what are we trying to say here? You can see an example of a string in Python. If you say name is equal to Emmanuel, that's my name, so I love to use it. And you can say um, country is equal to Nigeria, my country. So here are two string variables, and like I told you, like we learned on Python variables, you have a video on Python variables. You can also check that out. Python creates an object in memory called and it recognizes it as a string. It assigns the variable name. Sorry, we have name. It assigns the variable name to the object in memory containing the string Emmanuel. In this case, Python creates an object, saves the value or the character string or the character sequence Nigeria to it, and assigns the variable name country to that object in memory. Now, variables in strings in Python can be enclosed within single, double, single triple quotes, and double triple quotes. Why all the quotes in Python? Yeah, Python has a reason for doing that, and we're going to be seeing some of the reasons. But first, I'm going to show you examples. So this example we just looked at, country and name, they are enclosed within double quotes. You can see the double quotes here, and yeah, now we can do the same with single quotes like name2 equals to Brandon, and we can say country 2 equal to Cameroon. All right, here we have name 2 equals to Brandon. Oh, sorry, I wanted to write name 2 equal to, I need to use single quotes, and country 2 equal to, and country 2 equal to Cameroon. And all right, so here you see we can use single quotes and double quotes, and we can print name, we can print country, and country may be wrong, yeah, because it's, and we can print name 2, and we can print country 2, and you see, all right, so we can use double and single quotes for characters or for string objects. Now you may be wondering, what is the difference? Why should we use a single quote and why should we use a double quote? Like I said, Python was made for convenience. From the past, people or students who are used to scripting languages usually use single quotes, while those used to compile languages like C, C++, C Sharp mostly use double quotes for strings and single quotes for character. But those from the scripting language background like Perl, Python, and all the rest, JavaScript, then we mostly use single quotes but they mostly use single quotes. So Python allows you to blend both. And not just that, Python allows you to do that because you can be writing a double quoted string which contains a single quote. For example, I heard it's rainy. Oh, now we see our string has a single quote, so we can't use a single quote to delimit it. Let me show you why. Now, let's say we say text txt equals to I. Let's say let's to I. It's raining. Now let's try to press enter. You see Python created an error. It said invalid syntax. Python thought we are going crazy. Why? Because at this point, Python saw I heard it. And at this point, since we started with a single quote, Python thought we have ended at this point. So when we started writing s, rainy something, Python thought we crazy. And Python had to tell us it doesn't understand what we're trying to do. So if your string is going to contain a single quote within it, you need to enclose it within double quotes like this, um, yeah. So here is how we're gonna do it. What if your string is going to contain single quotes? Like I said, I explained all this in the previous video on introduction to Python 2, so you can check it out to understand more of this, because I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this because we have limited time in the video. So now, what if your string contains double quote like I am a little under weather, uh, weather. John said to, or let's put it this way, John shouted, stand up to his friend. Let's try to save this. Oh, it generated an error. Why did it generate an error? Generated an error because we started this string with a double quote, and somewhere around here Python saw another double quote. Python actually thought we were at the end of our string, and so after this, when it saw s and some other stuff, Python felt we are going crazy. So Python actually had to tell us invalid syntax. So in the case where you have a double quote within the string, you can simply delimit it with what we say a single quote. All right. So here we can press all right. So it goes right now, and if we print txt, we can see our output here. So I'm going to switch right now to ideally Python so we can see a bit clearer. All right, so okay, so now what happens if let's check. All right, so at this point now, what happens if we want to use a single quote within a single quoted string, like it's let's say message equals to it's it's rainy here. All right, so you see there's already a problem. We already see it from here, so let's switch back to here so we don't see that error. Exit, exit, so cls. All right, so Python. All right, let's say we have message equals to it's rainy here. All right, so it's raining here. Let's try to save this. It gives us an error, and we know why, because Python sees the end of this. It thinks this is the end of the string here, and it doesn't understand what s and all this stuff means. But what if we want to do that? Like I explained in the video, like I told you about, we need to use a backslash to escape this one. So we tell Python, please ignore this quotation, just print it as it is. It's not the end of the string. So when we want to escape a character so Python doesn't consider it to be special, we use the backslash. At this, when Python sees the backslash, it knows, oh, this is not the end of the string. They just want me to print it out. So Python will ignore it. And when Python finds this, it now considers this to be the end of the string. So you need to use a backslash to escape a single quote within a single quoted string. So if you run it now, you see it works perfectly. Now, what of the case where you want to do, you have a double quoted string like this, and you try it out, it fails like this. Why? Because if you have a double quote within a double quoted string, you need to tell Python, please don't consider these double quotes to be special. Because, for example, if you take this one out and press enter, Python still finds this other one. So, and thinks this is the end. So it thinks whatever we're doing from here is rubbish. So we need to escape both of them. Now we escape these two. We tell Python, all right, Python, you don't need to take these characters or these quotations like special quotations. You don't need this like a special quotation. Oh, you can take this. Here is the end of the string. So Python goes through this, finds this. Oh, they don't want me to take this like the end. All right. It prints it out, continues. Oh, they don't want me to take this like the end. All right. Then it finally sees the end here. So if you print text, you should print it like this. You see txt. You're gonna find, sorry, um sorry, I was doing something else. Yeah, so yeah, so if you print txt like this, you see. Now let's continue. Now Python also has what we call triple quoted string. You can have triple quoted single and triple quoted double. Let's see triple quoted single. All right, this we can have txt equal to 123. This is a triple quoted string. String 123. Now here is a triple quoted string. We didn't spell this well. All right. So in a triple quoted string, you use triple quotes, and you can also use this. You can also use double triple quoted string where, yeah, 123 and 123. You can have either a double triple quoted string like this one, or we have a single quoted string. Now within quoted strings, you can have single and double quotes within them. For example, you can say, you can write triple quoted string, and you can say, you can have within it, you can have a single quote, for example, and you can even have a double quotes. Double, it's fine. Yeah, no problem. If you press enter, everything goes on well. You see, because the delimiter here now, it's not a single nor double. So double and single quotes are accepted within either double or single quoted string. So any of them can contain both double and triple quoted strings. Uh, yeah, so you see, if you print text now, everything goes on well. So you see, very well. So if you want to have both double and triple quoted strings inside a string, you can just use triple quoted delimiter. So you don't need to worry about escaping. You don't need to worry about escaping the double quotes or escaping the single quotes. You just write your string. But of course, if you use single quoted string, triple single quoted string, you can't have a triple quote within your string like this, because when Python finds it, it will think it's the end, and you can escape it, but it makes no use to begin to escape it. I don't think you can't be escaping things like this. It will work, but doesn't really make a lot of sense. It might work, but doesn't really make a lot of sense. You see, like this, it might work, but txt, you see, it's not good. So let's not worry about that. let's just say you should know if you're using double triple quoted string, you should not have a triple quote like this within the string, while if you're using double triple quoted string, you should not have a quote like this. If this is a double quoted string, you should not have such a quote. So that's just what I wanted you guys to know. If you have it like this, you should not have something like this within, because it's going to clash. Python is going to think this is the end. When it goes here, scrolls here, finds this, it's going to think this is the end of the string. So you shouldn't use the same string, quotation you used for delimiting it. You shouldn't use that same, you should not use that kind of quotation within the string, or else it's going to confuse both you and Python. So let's move on. What's another importance of triple quoted string? Another importance of triple quoted string is they can span multiple lines. For example, say we need to write a letter. Let's say we need to write a letter like, we try to write a letter. We say hello, hello, and we want to say comma and move to the next line. It doesn't work for double and single quoted strings. It doesn't work. You can't just move to the next line anyhow. But with multiple triple quoted, you can say hello, you can go to comma, 1 2 3, a message for you. You can even go again down. I just had to tell you I found something here. All right, and you can even press, you can either end it here if you want, or you can continue downward. So see, here is a very good message. um, Something, I found something here. All right, here is a very good message. So here is a triple quoted string. Here is it. Hello, you see, Python plays the new line for us, but we don't need it. If we set, for example, text equals to, you can say tx equals to, and you say 1 2 3 hello, comma, a message. You can even use, I explained all this in the last video, how to use double and triple quoted strings. A message for you. You can see, even press command, I found something here. So, or you can do what, so if you print text, you see it prints on multiple lines. So you can use triple quoted strings, both single and double. You can still use single. Hello, I a message you. You you can say I found something here. All right, so okay. Oh, I didn't use. I was supposed to use this to end it. All right, because I actually started with that. So here is an example now showing the new line because we did not assign it to a variable, so it's printing a representation. Normally, it stores this with a new line. Remember, a new line is here and a new line is here. So let's see it without the all right. Hello, I found something here, or a message for you. Message for you. I found I found something here. You just need to end it with this 1 2 3, and everything goes well. So I just wanted to show you it's possible to have multiple to expand to span multiple lines when creating triple single quoted and triple double quoted string. You can do that both in a text editor, in an IDE, or in a text editor. For example, in our Visual Studio Code, we can write you can say message equal to, you can use triple quotes, yeah, hello, this is a message. You can press comma, thanks goodbye. All right, so you can do this within a script. Mustn't be, for example, if you're writing something like a web application, usually this can be an HTML document that will be printed out or whatever, will be sent in a dynamic content delivery system or something. But you can use this to declare now. You can even start from here. I think that's possible. Let me see. Yeah, to do that, you need to use backslash. I think I explained that. All right. So this can be a valid HTML document here. You see, very nice. You can now print, print message. Let's see what happens. So CLS, let's see what happens. All right. So you see a very good message here. Hello, this is a message and everything is neat, so neat right here. So you can also do that. All right. So Python allows either a pair of single or double quotes or a pair of triple quotes or triple quotes and double quotes to be used to delimit a string like we've seen. Now, we can find subset of strings can be taken using the slice operator with indices starting from 0 in the beginning of the string and working their way to the end of the string. So we're going to look at the index operator, and Python strings have two common operators used with them, plus and times. The plus is known as the concatenation operation, while the times is known as the repetition operator. I'm going to show you an example right now. So for example, let's go back to our console. Let's say let's use ideal Python. Okay, let's say for example, we want to see this. If we say name equals to uh, age equals to 30, let's say hobby equals to swimming, for example, we can now append these strings, or let's say age equals to, okay, we can wipe it. Let's define something else for age. Age equal to um, 30, so that all will be strings. Now let's append it. Let's say message equals to, you can say his name. Remember, this is a string. His name space. We want to append strings together. His name is, we append it, we add this string, we append this string here. So we say name plus he is age this old and and loves hobby. Now let's see. Instead, let's print message. His name is Manuel. He's 30 years old and loves swimming. So you saw we had a string, created a string, attached it with a plus concatenation operator to name. So it becomes his name is Emmanuel. We attach it plus he is plus age. So it's gonna be he is age here is 30 and then plus now this string years old and loves um plus hobby and loves swimming. So I want you to see how to concatenate strings together by joining them. And repeat strings, for example, if we want to print something 100 times, let's say we need to print some good header, you can say print, maybe we want to print a manual for two headers, we can say print, we want to print this string dash. want to print it times 20 times. Okay, so those are 20. Now if you take any string like hello and multiply it by a certain number, it prints that particular string two times in this case, it prints it two times. Let us take we have hello times 20. It prints hello, 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 hello. So this string repetition, the multiplication sign, when it comes to string, it actually prints out the string or multiplies the string by a total number. For example, we can say greet, greet let's say, we can say header equals to maybe this star this times 50. All right, we can say footer equals to, let's see, this string times 50. Now you can say print header. Let's try to print footer. Now you see we multiply header by and stored in header in the variable name header. We multiply this by 50, that's hyphen asterisk and hyphen by 50, and then stored it back in header. Here we multiply the next one we multiply this by 50, which is equal to and an asterisk in the middle. We multiply by 50 and we assign the number back to the variable footer. So as you see, we can print header and print footer, so you see the pattern. All right. All right. So as you can see from here, let me show you. There is an example of the way we can concatenate strings. Concatenate strings means repeating strings. That's the way we can repeat string. It means multiplying them by a certain number. So if you say, for example, hi times 5, it's going to give you hi, 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 hi. If you say hello times 5, it's going to give you hello, hello, hello. So in when it comes to strings, the star or the asterisk is called the repetition operator. It repeats a string multiple times. So always know this and note this. It's called the repetition operator. No, it's used to repeat a string many times. While the plus, like we've been seeing, for example, text equals to hello, hello plus world. So while the plus sign is called the concatenation operator because it combines two strings together. So here you see txt. So there we go, hello world. So it combines the string hello and the string world. For example, if we have str1 equals to hello, hello, and if we have str2 equals to world, and if we have str3 equals to str1 plus str2, we print str3, yeah, we have hello world. So still the same thing. So I want to show you now, guys, here. So in case you want to understand what's happening, let's take, for example, we have a variable called var equal to var equals to welcome to programming. Let's say we have a variable like this, and let's see how Python represents this variable in memory. All right, so let's see. All right, so here is an example. Python starts counting from 0. It's called the index. W is at index 0. We can say E is at index 1. So here are the indexes in which Python saves the character found in welcome to programming. The first character is at index 0, the second is at index 1, the third is at index 2. So we say Python is 0 based when it comes to string. We know most programming languages start counting from 0. Yeah, so for example, we have 0, 1 and ends at 21. But the length of this string is 22 characters. Why? Because we started from 0. Let's see whether that's true. So welcome to programming. Yeah, so let's try check the length by using the inbuilt function len. Inbuilt function len bar. You see 22 characters. So 22 because it starts from, but you see the last index here is 21. So it's because it starts from 0. So we don't have the 22nd index. If you attempt to say 20 to find the 22nd index, for example, the program is going to crash. Now, to access the particular index you want for a string, we use what is called the index operator. The index operator is square brackets with a number. So we follow the variable name with square brackets like this. Var, we use square brackets and we call a particular number. For example, index 1. If you say var 0, it gives you W. That's the first index. If you say var and let's say 1, it gives you the second item. Now, like I said, the last item is at index 21 because we started from 0. So if we say var 21, we have G. Now, you can't access the 22nd index because you're out of range. So if you say var 22, you're going to get an error. Index out of range. It means we have exceeded the range of the variable. So like here, you see, so we have 0 to 21. Now, Python also starts counting from the end. The last index, Python assigns it a, we can say the last index is also -1. If you the last but 1 is -2, the last but the the second to the last is -3, or the last but 2. So you see right up to -22. This is very important when you're programming to be able to access the last index with -1, because most times you can't know the length of the string, but you actually want to access the last index. For example, you can have a string and let's say var2 equals to I love Python, and within your program you want to access the last index. In that case, you don't need to count it like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. Oh, the last index should be at, let's say, 13 because Python starts from 0. So let's say var 2 13. Let's see we correct, or we even index out of range. Let's say var 2, maybe it's 12. Oh, we are correct now. Now, what of if the string had 1,000,000 characters? We can be calculating the index. So Python helps us by assigning the last index index value -1. So we can say var 2 -1, and we see what happens. It says but it gives us n. So you see that's the last index. So if we have some random string, let's say var3 equal to some stuff. This is some really long random string you will not love to count because it is so long, and we have some long string. So here, are we going to count the characters to actually know the last one? No, even though we can use the len operator to find the length and say the len function to find the length, and then say, oh, the last index is going to be at 87 because we actually start counting from 0. So it will say var3 index 87. We're gonna find G. Oh, G. All right. So that's the last item. But now it might be so long, and we don't want to calculate the last index that way. So we can say, in fact, it's so easy. You can even say var3, and you index it by saying len var3 minus 1. Can you imagine it works? That's actually the last index because we learned that 3 minus 1 is going to sum, it's going to be it's an expression, it's going to return the value. Len was 88 minus 1 is 87, so we're going to have var 3 87. So you can write an expression within the brackets. So let's see what's going to happen. All right, so let's say we want to access the last index. It's very simple. We can, instead of writing such complicated stuff, why don't we just write var 3 -1, and we're good to go. We don't need any stress or whatever. So var 3 -1 gives us, and we can say var 3 -2. It gives us the right up to var 3, let's say -88. var 3 negative. Remember, this time we can use 88 for negative because the last, it starts counting from -1. So you can say var 3 -88. It gives us t, which is the first character. If you don't know the position of the first character, you can just say var 3 negative the len of var 3. You can use this as a shortcut to find it, and there you go. So you see, it still gives us t. So this is known as the index operator. When we use brackets and a number within, we are doing what is called the index operator. Remember, the space within a string is also counted. You see, this space is counted at index 10, this space is counted at index 7. Remember, indexes start from 0, not 1. So if a string is 21 characters long, or 20, let's say if a string is 15 characters long, it has its last index is 14 because the first character is at index 0. And remember, Python can also start counting from the end. It assigns -1 to the last index, followed by -2 to the last but 1, right up to the first index, as you can see, which is -22, because this string is 22 characters long. If this string was 44 characters long, in the negative wise, we are going to have -42, 44. But if it's 44 characters long, in the positive, we are going to have positive 43 because we started counting from 0. But from the end, we start counting from -1. So the last negative index is actually the length of the string, negative, like negative the length of the string. So that's a very simple stuff I want you guys to understand. Here is the internal representation of a string in Python. It has positive and negative indexes. Positive indexes start from 0 and negative indexes start from -1. So let's look at some few examples here. So as you can see, Python starts counting strings from both directions, from the front and the back. Now, if you start from the front, you start counting from 0 right up to the end of the string. If you start counting from the end, you start counting from -1 right up to the start of the string. The inbuilt len function can be used to get the length of any string as shown in the code below. Like I showed you guys, we will say len of var1. You gave, so sorry, var1 is not longer there. All right, let's say len of var, it gives us 22. Len of hello, len of hello should give us 5, yes. Len of over 2 should give us 13, yes. And finally, len of this random stuff give us 88. Len over 3. Now, len is known as an inbuilt function. We're going to understand what that means. It's just it does not belong to any object. Rather, objects need to implement a particular kind of function in order to be able to support the len inbuilt function. We are going to understand all that. So um, now, let's see, below is the simple code. So we see this code here. Now, text equals to welcome to Python. Print text, we have welcome to Python. Now, print len text, it gives us 22. Now, print text 2, it starts from 0, so it's going to be 0, 1, 2. It should give us L. Print text 0, it should be 0 W. Print text 10 should be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it should give us a space. Here is the space. Now, if you say print -1, it should be the last item. Print -22, it should be the first item because you get -1, -2, -3, -4, right up to W should be -22. Print 20, 21 should be I think the last item, because I told you if a string is 22 characters long, its last item will normally be at index 21 because we started counting from 0. Now print text 510. Now we're going to look at what is known as the slice operator. So let's look at what is called the slice operator because we didn't talk about it very well. So at this point, I'm going to be continuing from, let's see. Yeah, so at this point I'm going to be stopping this particular video, and in the next video we're going to be looking at the strings, still strings, but we are going to be looking at the slice operator. All right, so see you in the next video. Yeah, see you in the next video. Have a nice time. All right.